Hello there, good morning. You're welcome to Newsroom Live on GHOne Television. My name is Kemini Amana. Coming up this hour. Minister of Lands and Natural Resources orders closure of the Ghana School of Mapping and Surveying over student protest, but the students have described the minister's posturing as unfortunate. Also to come, the NPP addresses media on happenings within the party. We'll bring you a live update of the party's news conference. In business, Ghana to export power to its neighbors within the next 4 years. We'll also bring you some sports and international news from now till 12:30 midday. Let's get into our first story. We'll start off in the courts, where a 7-member Supreme Court panel, presided over by Justice 25 of the same Constitution. The Supreme Court was expected to give its ruling today on the GHOne 2 case. Let's speak to our court correspondent, Wilberforce Asari, for further updates on this development. Good morning, Wilberforce.
Hello, Kemini. Good morning.
Take us through what ensued in court today.
Well, so Kemini, here at the Supreme Court, the 7-member panel today, chaired by Justice William Atuguba, are of the opinion that it appears like there is a conflict between Article 83 and 84 of the 1992 Constitution and Article 75 of the same Constitution. Essentially, Article 75 has to do with the powers of the president to enter into treaties on behalf of the country. However, Article 83 and 84 has to do with the issues of the National Security Council and the decisions that they can take on behalf of the country. The conflict that the Supreme Court seems to be having is that on the issue about the GHOne 2, as far as their admission into the country by the then President Mahama is concerned, is that they do not know whether the president had the right to enter into that treaty without parliamentary approval, or whether or not the president did so as a result of national security implications. Because of that, out of the abundance of caution, they have decided that the lawyers involved, that is the lawyers for the state and the lawyers for the plaintiff, should come back to court and file new submissions. Out of these submissions that will seek to explain this ambiguity between the articles that I have mentioned, the Supreme Court would then be in a position to come up with a judgment. So essentially, Kemini, the Supreme Court has asked these lawyers to file their submissions by the 24th of May, and then move on and come back to court on the 22nd of June 2017, by which time the Supreme Court will be in a pole position to give a decision as far as this GHOne 2 application is concerned.
I see. Wilberforce, does that mean we're beginning from scratch the hearing of this case?
Well, it will not be that we are beginning from scratch. Essentially, these Supreme Court justices have actually gone into conference to come up with a judgment. It was their conferencing that brought up these further issues that they need clarification on. So what it means is that the case has traveled its natural course, except that they have gotten to a place where they think that there is a need to exercise some amount of caution and get clarification as far as the two provisions in the Constitution is concerned. once they have the clarification, they can go ahead and give a definite decision that will be binding, because this is the first time they have been invited to interpret Article 75 of the Constitution, which has to do with the powers that the President of the Republic of Ghana has by way of entering into treaties on behalf of the country, which are subject to ratification by Parliament anyway. And so it is a Herculean task, and the Supreme Court wants to do this carefully so that they do not breach any other provisions of the 1992 Constitution.
I see. Well, first, to serve as a reminder, take us back into how we got to this point of the GHOne 2 case.
Rightly so, Kemini. Two persons, one 85-year-old lady and another young man, Nana Boache, who is now currently serving as the deputy leader of the people who take care of our national service persons. They are essentially saying that President Mahama, then president, took a decision to admit two GHOne detainees from the GHOne prisons into Ghana. They are challenging that decision that the president took in admitting them into the country, and asking for a Supreme Court order to ask these two GHOne detainees to be returned to their senders here, the United States of America. And that is why this case came up in the Supreme Court for determination, Kemini.
Very well, we'll be forced to leave it here and wait for the 24th hearing of this case, submissions from both parties to the case. Thank you very much. Wilberforce Asare is our court correspondent. Now, I told you earlier that we'll take you to the NPP headquarters, where the party is holding a news conference to address recent issues that have erupted within members, or among rather, members of the party. My colleague Sewa Ami here is at the news conference. She's bringing us update on the situation. Hello, Sewa.
Hello, Kemini. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. We know that General Secretary for the party, John Boydu, has been addressing the media. Take us through what he's been saying.
Well, disappointing as it may sound, I think that we all expected the General Secretary to address the recent crisis or brouhaha in the NPP, but that's not what we got today at the press meeting. The General Secretary, the Steering Committee and the National Executives Committee of the NPP this morning inaugurated a 10-member committee headed or chaired by Dr. Poku Edusei to review the 2016 parliamentary and presidential elections. This, they're saying, is to do or check what they did right, what made them win the 2016 election, and then moving forward, what will make them win subsequent elections. So I'm here and I'm joined by the chairman of the committee, the Dr. Poku Edusei committee. He's going to take us through what this committee is about. And by the way, the committee has been given 6 weeks to complete this task or assignment, if we may call it. Hello, Dr. Poku. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very
You're
much.
live on GHOne Newsroom with Kemini Amano. So 6 weeks, do you think it's enough in the first place to complete this assignment?
Well, it's a period that we will endeavor to work with. But in the extreme event that 6 weeks is not enough, we will ask for an extension so that we can complete the task.
And earlier when the General Secretary addressed us, he said, it's very obvious, and we all know how the NPP won with that big margin. But do you think this committee is necessary?
It is, because as the good book says, in all things, you give thanks to God. In elections, whether you win or lose, there's a need for a post-mortem exercise to review whatever occurred, so that it can position the party in a way for the future. And that's exactly what NPP is doing. They want to position itself very well and the party so that we can retain power in 2020. We are going to review throughout the whole country what happened in 2016 and then inform ourselves for the way forward.
Is that to say that the committee you set up in 1992, the Stolen Verdicts Committee, was not good enough because you lost, and then in 1996 you set up another committee, the Bot Verdict Committee? What's going to be different this time?
Well, it tells you that it's not only when you win elections that you have to review whatever happened. When
not
you
only
don't
when
win
you
the
lose.
elections, you have to review the exercise and then re-strategize for the way in the future. What we are seeking to do is to look at things that happened in 2016, security situations, logistics, everything. We review them based on our terms of reference, write a detailed report for the party, and it's only for the party. We also look at the engagement or interactions between the government and then the party, so that there's no disconnect between the two institutions in terms of our governance system in Ghana. Those are the things we have to look at.
But in your own way, what do you think made the NPP win this year's election?
Well, we are yet to know. That's what the exercise is going to unravel. We are going to dig deep and know what worked for us, so that the people on the ground, as we call them, the foot soldiers, don't become disenchanted because they've been alienated from the mainstream government and positions. We want to interact with them, bring them on board, interact with the president, every person who matter in the party, so that we can come out with a comprehensive report.
All right, so Kemini, I just spoke with Dr. Poku Edusei. He's a senior law lecturer at the University of Ghana, and he's going to be chairing the Dr. Poku Edusei Committee to review the 2016 parliamentary and presidential elections. I don't know if you have any further questions for him, but he's ready to answer.
So perhaps not for him. I think that we've had quite an insightful conversation between the two of you as far as the work of this committee is concerned. But more about the news conference itself. It's apparent that majority, all of us, were fooled by the timing of the news conference. But were questions posed surrounding the controversy around the relationship between the Northern Regional Chairman and the women's chairman of the women's organizer of the party, be it Bugri Nabu and Otiko Jaba?
Well, Kemini, unfortunately, there wasn't that opportunity given to the media to ask any questions. This was the press conference lasted for just about 10 minutes. Just to specifically inaugurate this committee. So there was no opportunity at all to ask the General Secretary if or issues concerning this particular problems in the party.
I see. That must have an absolutely smart move on the part of the party. Thank you very much. Sewa Ami here is my colleague. She joined us from the NPP headquarters, where the party held a news conference to announce a committee which has been set up to investigate events leading up to the elections, during the elections, and how the party won the elections. Away from that, there's a serious Galamsey activity going on at the Dabwase district in the Western region. That's why the ban placed on illegal mining officials say the Western Regional Police Command are helpless about the situation due to their inability to cross the river.
The Western Regional Communications Manager of the Ghana Water Company, Nana Yalberima Bani, appealed to the Minister of Lands, Minerals and Natural Resources, John P. Teramewu, to consider directing the fight against Galamsey towards the Pratt River, as the Western Regional Police Command remains helpless due to their inability to cross the river.
I would like to plead with the Minister that they should turn their attention to the Pratt River, so that the pollution that is going on, the Galamsey people who think that nobody can face up to them on the river would leave the place and have the water come back to its normal self.
He added the illegal practice has resulted in high production costs of water company.
This is Newsroom, live on GHOne Television. My name is Kemini Amano. There's more news ahead. That's reason for you to stay. Don't go away.
Every 60 minutes, scoliosis attacks a child in Ghana. These children will be stigmatized for life. They will die slowly and painfully as the twisting spine crushes their internal organs, all before the age of 25. What will you do to help?
The Foundation of Orthopedics and Complex Spine, Focus, announces its first ever fundraising event in Ghana, The event will take place at the Movenpick Ambassador Hotel on Saturday, 13th May at 6 p.m. Proceeds from the event will go into the Focus Endowment Fund to support needy children who require surgery. Interested persons can contribute towards the fundraising at 600 Ghana cedi for one or 1,000 Ghana cedi for two, or call 020-0000-856 through Unibank account number 02-11311-006781, the World Trade Center branch.
I hope these surgeries will be done so that I can be on my own and I won't depend on someone to be taken out of me.
Hi, my name is Amanda Jizzy. My friends call me Mandy J, and I am your TV host with a Dominion mentality, and this is E-Talk.
You break up. You bolom boom boom. That's my tones.
Overdose with fullness.
I love Miss V, but in Jesus' name.
Watch it.
There we go. Watch it.
All these things, come to play.
Your Thursday nights will never be the same again as I bring you a new twist, your favorite entertainment talk show.
Yeah, this is Fatau Dauda, the lion.
What up, man? This your boy Prodigal.
My name is SARKODIE, your brother Pombody.
And you're watching E-Talk with my homegirl Amanda.
Keep watching E-Talk on GHOne.
Well, I mean, I say E-Talk, it done no Stone Boy endorsing it.
Keep it locked, keep it tuned, keep it stuck right here to E-Talk on GHOne. Galu.
These and much more right here on your only verified entertainment show, live on GHOne.
Oh yeah!
I am back with the big bang. You know what I'm saying? Join me this and every Thursday at 9 p.m. right here on GHOne, your favorite station.
And we are back. It's about 10 minutes to midday here on Newsroom. In other stories, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Otiko Afisa-Jaba, has underscored the need to urgently pass the Affirmative Action Bill into law to drastically change the gender inequality in the country. She said the absence of the law has brought up several discriminative actions against women in the country.
The representation of women in leadership positions in the country has been a bane for most feminist and women advocates for several years, as the number of women appointed in various government positions have not been encouraging. Ghana is currently ranked 150 out of 185 in the Interparliamentary Union ranking on women representation in parliament across the world. Despite the country's impressive democratic credentials, evidence from the previous elections indicates that the participation of women is very low, while the appointments of women into leadership and governance positions have also remained low over the years. At a meeting in Accra to review the Affirmative Action Bill, the Gender Minister, Otiko Afisa-Jaba, decried discrimination against women at all levels and urged participants of the meeting to critically review the bill for a quick passage into law.
An equal access to social economic power and justice, including lack of respect for and inadequate protection and promotion of human rights of women. Inequalities between women and men in the sharing of power and decision-making at all levels and in dealing with all kinds of conflicts and insecurities and threats on women. That is why somebody will think that because he is a man, he must decide how we develop the processes of re-engaging school-feeding caterers, because Ghana is a man's world. We must change all these perceptions of women.
The Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, and a former First Lady, Nana Konadu Rawlings, also called for a swift passage of the bill into law to rectify discrimination on the basis of sex or gender by redressing social, economic, and educational gender imbalances.
This country is going nowhere until women get their rightful places. It's not going anywhere. You take 2 steps ahead of us, we'll pull you back 4 steps. We look after the children, we look after the water bodies, we look after the environment, we look after the food you eat. So all those things will come together to make the country, the first level country that we want to be. But if we leave the women behind, trust me, it's not going to help this country.
The Affirmative Action Bill, which is under review, seeks a 40% representation and participation of women in governance, public positions of power and decision-making.
The Minister of Land and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, has announced the closure of the Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping. This follows the recent clashes between the students and officials of the Lands Commission over the school's lands. The minister also ordered the reassignment of staff of the school. But the minister's decision has not gone down well with students of the school. The students have expressed dissatisfaction regarding the directive by the lands minister. Let's find out why. SRC president of the Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping, Bright Josephine Singh, has joined us over the telephone. Bright, good morning.
Good morning.
Perhaps not too good for you after the closure of your school, but why do you think the minister shouldn't have taken such an action after you put up quite a very disturbing act last week or so?
Yeah, my dear, I don't call it quite disturbing because our actions came about as a result of the presence of language that was, causing fear and panic in the majority of the students. And even that, we wouldn't have resulted to that. Just after the press conference on the 2nd of May, the langars were still on the school campus, smoking here and there with motorbikes. So a section of the students went to ask them that they should, vacate the premises, and they said the school land is not for us, but rather where they have barricaded is where our limit ends. So the students got, annoyed, and they started hooting at them. Leave our school land, leave our school land. And they started throwing stones at the students. So the students too got, annoyed, and they started, throwing back at them.
Very well. But here we are today, right? The minister has ordered the closure of your school. How are the students digesting this order from the ministry?
Come again, my dear.
I'm asking, how are the students taking the order from the ministry? Hello, Bright, can you hear me? I think we lost Bright over the telephone, but we're having a conversation following the order of from the Lands and Commission Ministry to close down the Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping after clashes between the students and the Lands Commission over lands purportedly belonging to the school. We'll get back into that conversation in a bit. Don't go away.
It's time to celebrate our mothers in a special way. They are the most awesome chefs who feed us with sumptuous meals our whole lives. Therefore, GH1 TV brings you the Big Mother's Day Cookout. participate with your mother, simply take a picture of your mother in the kitchen cooking her favorite dish or eating her favorite food. WhatsApp it to us on 050-903-5494. Selected viewers will have their mothers participate in the big Mother's Day cookout. It's going to be the biggest family cookout in Ghana, amidst music and games. Send us that picture now. The GH1 TV's Big Mother's Day cookout is brought to you by Nova Wellness Center, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Mama Cosmetics, Beauty from Nature, and EnviroFit. Enjoy fast and clean cooking. The Big Mother's Day cookout is powered by GH1 TV and supported by Live FM, Cypress, GH, and Star FM.
When I need motivation, my one solution is my queen.
Hi there, my name is AJ Sapon. I'm the host of Tales from the Powder Room. On this show, we talk about love and betrayal, hooking up and falling out.
Dear Tales, my husband has impregnated our house help and now wants to leave me for her.
Dear Tales, my girlfriend is always demanding for money she knows I don't have. I feel like an ATM.
The show usually sees two worlds colliding, male and female, who's wrong and who's right, and above all, conventional and not so conventional advice.
Mother and son are really close. I mean, if probably he's gone to his mother to say, Mommy, I want another woman, but this is how we should go about it. Well, that's their problem, and God will punish them for that.
If your husband has left you more than 5 years, and he's only telling you, I'll come, divorce him.
In the end, we help in finding a solution to your relationship issues.
Marry something around Sukura.
Don't make it look as if we are empowering men to just be irresponsible, so that that we are living in very dangerous times where so much is going wrong. So much is going wrong.
Anytime your love tank runs empty, turn to Tales, because we've got your back. It's our business. New face, but same great show. Only Tales from the Powder Room, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on GH1 TV.
Tales from the Powder Room is brought to you by Malta Guinness, Vodafone, and Lily Rice.
Welcome back to Newsroom. We'll now take you to Tema, where angry youth at Newtown stormed the premises of the Newtown District Police Station on Tuesday over a shooting incident leading to the death of a 37-year-old fishmonger, Patrick Adenyo. The police, for the fear of being directly attacked, also fired gunshots in the air and tear gas in order to disperse the crowd.
The youth group, clad in red apparel, wearing red armbands and headgears, stormed the premises of the Tema Newtown District Police Station to demand answers over a shooting incident which led to the death of Patrick Adenyo. According to the youth, the police shot and killed an innocent person over their own negligence. The youth started throwing stones over the wall into the compound of the station, and the police immediately responded by firing gunshots and tear gas, which dispersed the youth from the entrance of the police station.
We were sitting in front of our house when we realized someone was being attacked. We couldn't go near because we saw that the attackers had used a gas on the victim's face. We later realized he had been shot dead.
I
was at home when someone came to tell me my son had been shot. When I came out, my younger son was crying, and when I asked, he said his brother had been shot dead.
The head of public relations at the Tema Regional CID, Joseph Dakwa, narrated to the news team what happened in the vicinity.
Police had a distress call from someone, I just don't want to mention the name, that he was under attack. So our patrol team quickly proceeded to the place around Tema Newtown. Now, when they got there, the story was that this gentleman who gave the call had apparently parked his car to buy something. Now, on his return to his car,
he realized that there was another gentleman in the driver's seat, either trying to move the car or say something. He didn't know. So he questioned him, and then it became a struggle. Then he was joined, the first man, the suspect, was joined by another person. So when the owner of the car realized that he could not actually struggle with the two people, we gave a call to the police. Then we proceeded. Now, when the suspect saw the police coming, he took to his heels. But fortunately, we were able to follow and arrest him. So police tried to handcuff him. In the attempt to handcuff him, the victim or the suspect now, Patrick Mensah, struggled vehemently with the police, and he was able to take the rifle from one of the policemen.
The body of the deceased has since been deposited in the police hospital mortuary for further investigations.
Well, very disturbing development there. This is Newsroom. A look again at the top stories. Supreme Court adjourns the ruling on the Gitmo 2 case to 24th of May. Minister of Lands and Natural Resources orders closure of the Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping, but the students describe the minister's decision as unfortunate. The New Patriotic Party outdoors committee to probe its election victory. Well, still ahead on the program, Ghana to export power to its neighbors within the next 4 years. That's coming up in business. And in international brief, President Donald Trump fires director of the FBI over his handling of the inquiry into Hillary Clinton's email scandal. Well, I'll now make a stop in Takoradi, in the western region, where yesterday over 100 people were injured in a gas explosion. Our correspondent Emmanuel Ohene-Jan has the latest on this development. Good morning, good afternoon, Emmanuel.
Yeah, good afternoon, Kevin.
Tell us, what's the latest on this?
Well, the latest is that the Total filling station, which is close to the Ghana Household Utilities Company, GHOne for short, is still closed down. Officials of Olam Depot are also around to count their losses. I spoke to the production manager for GHOne, Mr. John Emita, a while ago, and he was telling me that the company is ready to provide support for the 38 of the workers who were affected by yesterday's gas explosion. And he also indicated that all the workers for now should stay at home. Nobody should come to the office. Management is yet to meet to take a decision on the future of the company. And so, as we speak, nobody is supposed to come to work. I also realized that most of the insurance companies had come around to do an assessment and also to conduct their own investigation into what happened yesterday. And from there, the regional minister also visited some of the victims at the Tianquanta Regional Hospital, where he assured them of government support and told them that government would provide and take care of their medical bills, and the proper investigation will be conducted into the actual cause of yesterday's gas explosion in Takoradi. As we speak now, the minister is on his way to the Gapuha Hospital, and then from there he will move to Takoradi Hospital and later visit GHOne, Olam Ghana, and the other adjoining companies that were affected by yesterday's gas explosion.
I see. Now, Emmanuel, give us an update also on the injured persons.
Well, as of now, according to Dr. Richard Antonio, half of the patients have been discharged. And so, for Siam Fanta, we have close to 30 people on admission. We are yet to get to that of Gapua Hospital and Takwade Hospital, but Siam Fanta, most of them have been discharged.
We'll leave it here. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Ohenejan is our Western Region correspondent. Back in the national capital, Accra, the mayor, Ni Adjesua, has rolled out plans to make the city the cleanest in Africa. In line with the president's vision for Ghana, the mayor is targeting a three-pronged strategy, which includes waste management, beautification of the city, and the enforcement of existing laws to achieve his aim. The new mayor of Accra, Ni Adjesua, as part of his aim at making Accra the cleanest city in Africa, intends to sign up private waste management companies to deal effectively with waste issues in the capital. Accra has now been categorized into 15 areas, each of which has been allotted to a private waste management company. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly also intends to embark on a massive waste bin distribution exercise to ensure every household is clean.
We will be tough on excessive generation and indiscriminate disposal of all types of waste, solid, liquid, medical, hazardous emissions, as well as land, water, and atmospheric pollution.
On Accra's beautification plan, the mayor said he will promote beautification of open spaces and tree planting activities to boost tourism and promote investment.
In addition to being clean, Accra must look attractive at all times to give residents and visitors a sense of pride. Beautiful cities attract talents, investments, and economic activities, thereby increasing the city's unique contribution to the nation's GDP. Beautification is also a known driver of tourism, which in turn enhances business activities in the city.
The mayor also spoke of plans to reinvigorate and reinforce existing laws in the country to keep in check errant and deviant citizens. Meanwhile, the AMA indicated that it will soon replicate the recent demolition exercise at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange in other parts of Accra as part of efforts to keep the city clean. I can't wait to see how that beautification plan on paper plays out in reality. But you have got to wait for business, sports, and international news coming up when I return.
It's time to celebrate our mothers in a special way. They are the most awesome chefs who feed us with sumptuous meals our whole lives. Therefore, GHOne TV brings you the Big Mother's Day Cookout. Participate with your mother. Simply take a picture of your mother in the kitchen cooking her favorite dish or eating her favorite food. WhatsApp it to us on 050-903-5494. Selected viewers will have their mothers participate in the Big Mother's Day Cookout. It's going to be the biggest family cookout in Ghana, amidst music and games. Send us that picture now. The GHOne TV's Big Mother's Day Cookout is brought to you by Nova Wellness Center, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Mama Cosmetics, Beauty from Nature, and EnviroFit. Enjoy fast and clean cooking. The Big Mother's Day Cookout is powered by GHOne TV and supported by Live FM, Cypress, GH, and Star FM.
Shut your eyes, Mary, and don't look at it no matter what happens.
It has begun! Maria! Enough, she died!
This is history. saw your lights go out.
Bling!
And it's
Bark like a dog.
Hi, my name is Anita Erskine. I'm the co-host on the Star Drive here at Star 103.5 FM. Well, I'm here to tell you that sometimes certain circumstances are very temporary. They're actually designed to push you against the wall to see how hard you can push back. As much as you may want to take your life because it seems like the only solution, trust me, the better solution is owning up to whatever it is you're going through. Please choose life. We believe in you.
Choose Life is a GHOne TV initiative promoting the value of life.
It's time for business now. Ghana is no stranger to corruption, although a much better performer at minimizing graft compared to most African countries. In fact, it was ranked 64th corrupt country in the world in 2012. To help curb the practice, government plans to establish a fiscal council which will adopt and implement rules to anchor fiscal policy implementation. Today, the Institute of Economic Affairs Ghana has been debating ways of making the council work in order to check fiscal slippages. EIB correspondent Lerato Soso was there and brings us the story.
Fiscal slippages have been fingered for Ghana's growing budget deficit. This year, the Finance Ministry projected government plans to reduce the deficit to 6.5% from the current 9%. To help check deteriorating deficit, government has promised to set up a fiscal council. The correlation between large fiscal deficit and stifled economic growth cannot be understated. At a workshop organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs Ghana, Chairman of the Finance Committee in Parliament, Dr. Mark Esibe Yeboah, highlighted the economic status of Ghana.
Fiscal policy actually look at how one to ensure macroeconomic stability in a way that will enhance growth and at the same time ensure fiscal sustainability. So there are two main goals of fiscal policy. One, ensuring macroeconomic stability by way of fiscal sustainability, and at the same time, it has to be consistent with economic growth.
He also pointed out to government's failure in overcoming the temptation of splurging funds, especially during election years, in order to please voters, a development he laments throws the country off course in achieving its fiscal goals.
Politicians will often have that tendency to spend more, which is often there. And so the idea is that you can see it, and often when you have very weak macroeconomic fundamentals, you often will see in many cases that you have fiscal deficit. Always more because there's always the tendency to spend because you have accommodative policy, you want to meet your people's desires, you want to spend to expand the economy and all that. And so when you leave politicians, they will spend.
Although the new government is optimistic and eager to cooperate with the idea of a fiscal council in Ghana, not everyone welcomed the presentation in good faith.
It's good to hear the IEA outline their theoretical learnings from all over the world, and it's good to hear their suggestions. We would encourage other civil society groups to share with us their thoughts so that all of it can be factored into the final decisions of government on tightening this fiscal responsibility regime in this country.
The independence is in the papers, I mean the law, the constitution, but government will find a way of reducing the funds that may be available to you, the way they submit the funds, the way they transfer the funds to you through the Controller and Accountant General, which will make sure that you don't get the funds to do the work. And therefore, where is your independence?
Fiscal councils are not very popular in Africa. Only 3 countries in Africa are currently making use of fiscal councils, namely South Africa, Kenya, and Uganda. Yet, those countries continue to suffer disturbing levels of deficits. According to recent data, Kenya's own deficit hovers around 9.3% in spite of having established a fiscal council. Should Ghana push through with a fiscal council, it will seem much more will have to be done to check its dwindling fiscal space.
The World Bank is optimistic Ghana is in the best position to export power to its neighboring countries within the next 4 years. According to Country Director Henry Kirali, the investments made by the country in the energy sector will result in an oversupply of power in Ghana. He disclosed this during a post-spring meetings discussion here in Accra.
The World Bank projects there will be at least 1.5 gigawatts of excess electricity in the next 4 years in Ghana. The Bretton Woods institution says that development is the result of the numerous power purchasing agreements entered into by the Mahama-led administration. Country Director Henry Kirali urged the country to enter into discussions with the neighboring countries early so the excess power would take advantage of the power needs in the sub-region to make Ghana a net exporter of power.
The government will need to discuss with the neighboring countries how much to sell and for what price. And at the same time, the government, we understand, is reviewing the number of PPAs that were signed by the previous government in order to see how best to reschedule some of these in order to match the demand of electricity in Ghana. Current administration, the new government, is reviewing these in order to try and limit the excess payments or the payments for excess electricity that will not be consumed in Ghana.
Kirali, however, expressed worry that some of the PPAs were negotiated with very high cost, which could make Ghana's energy tariffs uncompetitive in the sub-region.
We discussed the potential for energy trade in the region. Perhaps Ghana could sell some of this excess electricity to neighboring countries. There are, of course, challenges of the infrastructure connecting Ghana with the other countries, but there are also challenges with the tariff levels that the energy market in the region can sustain. Nevertheless, that is an opportunity for Ghana to explore.
He therefore called for a renegotiation of some of the PPAs in order to drive down the cost component, which would help make Ghana's energy tariffs competitive in the sub-region.
Up next is sports with Tony Bubbly. Good afternoon, Tony.
Good afternoon, Kemini. And the news is that Kumasi Asante Kotoko, within 15 matches, have a new coach. Stephen Pollack has been appointed as the new coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. He is the man to end the first round, just a game with Tema Youth before the next 15 games will be played. So Stephen Pollack is the man to handle Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Stephen Pollack until the end of 2016-2015 and the Ghana Premier League. Although contract papers are yet to be formally signed, head of legal affairs of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Yao Boafo, confirmed this in a brief statement. Management will introduce him formally to the team before the final starts work. Although Pollack has dropped hints of meeting with the backroom staff and players, it is unlikely he will be on the bench when Kotoko hosts Tema Youth on the final day of the league game first round. He, however, will be the man in charge when the second half of the season starts. Kotoko fortunes have been declined progressively and painfully too since the departure of former coach Zdravko Lugarozic, who played 11 matches, won 5, drew 4, and lost 2 before the club parted ways with him. The Porcupine Warriors have drawn 3 matches and lost 4 times since Zdravko exited. Polak's job is clearly cut out for him. He will have to restore the win confidence of the players, bring back enthusiasm and their organization, and play while winning, largely reviving Kotoko fortunes in the league. The coach will as well need the firm backing of management and supporters who must have the patience for good results. So if you are Kotoko fans, 4 coaches within 15 matches. The new coach to handle Kumasi Asante Kotoko now is Steve Polak. Elsewhere in Dansuma, there is another coach, sacked Kotoko coach in the person of Michael Osei. He's going to handle Liberty Professional. So Liberty have also appointed Michael Osei. The Dansuma lads have been able to meet the demands of the former IWBRC assistant coach following weeks of negotiations. Sources within the club will reveal that the news that the Dansuma-based club were in serious talks with the former Asante Kotoko coach for him to take over the club last week with just a game with Hearts of Folk on Sunday at the Dansuma Karindorf Park. Liberty are currently being managed by fast-rising coach Ignatius Ofosu, who will be moved to the assistant coaching role, with long-serving trainer Selas Tete acting as the technical director for the club, who is likely to replace Kwesi Appiah in Sudan. The ex-Black Star player is confident to turn the fortunes of the club around. And elsewhere, the Wonder Club of Ghana, Great Olympics. If you're an Olympics fan, then I keep on saying that it is full of wonders. Olympics defeated Kumasi Asante Kotoko on Sunday by 2-0. And the good news is that Paul Fiati's goal has been nominated as one of the best goals for CNN Goal of the Week. So on the local scene, Great Olympics, the wonders will never stop. No, they don't mind where they are placed on the league table, but their goal is going for the CNN Goal of the Week as well. So finally, on the Champions League game yesterday, Juventus were through by beating Monaco by 2-1 on an aggregate of 4-1. So Juve is in the grand finale, and they are surely, I know the bet will be on that Juventus will be playing Real Madrid in that grand finale. But today, this night, Real Madrid will be playing Atletico Madrid, and that will be already a KG1. But the connoisseurs, the pundits, have really predicted that it is a Juve Real Madrid grand finale. That's all for sports for the afternoon. Kemini, back to you.
Well, thank you very much for bringing us sports news, Tony Bebley there. You're watching Newsroom live on GH1 television. My name is Kemini Amano. We'll go over our top stories for the last time. Jan's ruling on Gitmo 2 application to May 24 when it hears the submissions of both parties to the case. Minister of Lands and Natural Resources orders closure of the Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping, but the students are unhappy with this decision, describing it as unfortunate. The NPP to address, the NPP committee to investigate its electoral win ahead of the 2020 elections. And in the next 4 years, Ghana is projected to export power to its neighboring countries. And just before we go, let's bring you international news now. Start off in the United States of America, where President Donald Trump has fired the director of the FBI over his handling of the inquiry into Hillary Clinton's emails. The White House shocked Washington by announcing that James Comey has been terminated and removed from office. But Democrats said he was fired because the FBI was investigating alleged links between the Trump campaign and Russia. The move came as it emerged Comey gave inaccurate information to Congress last week about Clinton's emails. An FBI investigation into her use of a private email server to store sensitive information while Secretary of State remains closed. Comey said in July last year it was careless but not criminal. The White House said the search for a successor for Comey would begin immediately. It is only the second time the head of the FBI has been fired. Well, that'll be all for this hour. Thank you very much for your company. We're back same time tomorrow, but do make a date with us at 7 p.m. for News Tonight. My name is Kemini Amano. Have a good day.
It's time to celebrate our mothers in a special way. They are the most awesome chefs who feed us with sumptuous meals our whole lives. Therefore, GHOne TV brings you the Big Mother's Day Cookout. Participate with your mother. Simply take a picture of your mother in the kitchen cooking her favorite dish or eating her favorite food. WhatsApp it to us on 050-903-5494. Selected viewers will have their mothers participate in the Big Mother's Day Cookout. It's going to be the biggest family cookout in Ghana, amidst music and games. Send us that picture now. The GHOne TV's Big Mother's Day Cookout is brought to you by Nova Wellness Center, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Mama Cosmetics, Beauty from Nature, and EnviroFit. Enjoy fast and clean cooking. The Big Mother's Day Cookout is GHOne TV and supported by Live FM, Cypress, GH, and Star FM.
A moment of silence.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us.
My God, my God,
Hi, my name is Amanda Jizzy. My friends call me Mandy J, and I am your TV host with a Dominion mentality, and this is E-Talk.
Break up. That's my tones.
Overdoes with fullness.
I love Miss V, but in Jesus' name.
Watch it.
There we go, watch it. All these things, come to play.
Your Thursday nights will never be the same again as I bring you a new twist, your favorite entertainment talk show.
Yeah, this is Fatau Dauda, the lion.
What up, man? This your boy Prodigal.
My name is SARKODIE, your brother Pombedy.
And you're watching E-Talk with my homegirl Amanda.
Keep watching E-Talk on GH1.
Well, I mean, I say E-Talk, you done no Stone Boy endorsing it. Keep it locked, keep it tuned, keep it stuck right here to E-Talk on GH1, Galu.
These and much more right here on your only verified entertainment show, live on GH1. Oh yeah! I am back with the big bang. You know what I'm saying? Join me this and every Thursday at 9 p.m. right here on GH1, your favorite station.
It's time to celebrate our mothers in a special way. They are the most awesome chefs who feed us with sumptuous meals our whole lives. Therefore, GHOne TV brings you the Big Mother's Day Cookout. participate with your mother, simply take a picture of your mother in the kitchen cooking her favorite dish or eating her favorite food. WhatsApp it to us on 050-903-5494. Selected viewers will have their mothers participate in the big Mother's Day cookout. It's going to be the biggest family cookout in Ghana, amidst music and games. Send us that picture now. The GHOne TV's Big Mother's Day cookout is brought to you by Nova Wellness Center, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Mama Cosmetics, Beauty from Nature, and EnviroFit. Enjoy fast and clean cooking. The Big Mother's Day cookout is powered by GHOne TV and supported by Live FM, Cypress, GH, and Star FM.
Bambinita.
It's the Bambini Show, the #1 children's program in GH.
We should aim at what we have, and then when we set a goal, we should be able to accomplish it.
I had confidence in myself. I knew I could do it, and first time I did it.
Health is the highest building in the world.
Where children have fun, learn, explore their hidden potentials, socialize, and ultimately acquire and develop their skills and knowledge.
I rap for the dimes, I rap for the money, I rap for the girls, and I rap for my mama. You know
We make learning fun by discussing social issues.
You can ask your friend or your teacher or your parents